Hello, it's Lindsay from UK Hypnosis Convention. I think I'd know how to say that by now, wouldn't you? Today I'm speaking with Nicola Shubrook. Nicola is a registered nutritional therapist and clinical hypnotherapist. She uses both disciplines together to enhance her clients' health, mentality and physically. Nicola's 2-hour presentation, which is on the Saturday, 9th of November, the early one, 8:30.
I've got, yeah, first up.
First up. It's titled Feed the Mind and the Body, a look at the latest nutritional research that can be applied practically to support your clients. Nicola, welcome.
Hi.
Hi. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you've come to the two disciplines and what we can expect from your presentation?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So first and foremost, I'm a nutritional therapist. I've been qualified over 10 years now. And it was through my own mental health challenges with anxiety and panic that I kind of took that route, knowing that there was the psychological component around anxiety that those of us who work in that field are aware of. But actually, when I look back at my diet, because I was busy working in advertising at the time, it was atrocious. It was very stereotypical of caffeine, sugar, lack of sleep, lots of alcohol. I was smoking at the time. There was a lot of stress, and none of that was particularly conducive to me having good mental health. So it was through that journey that I took up nutrition initially for my own benefit, and then just it kind of opened up this whole world. I was like, this is amazing. And I knew I wanted to support other people with their mental health as well. And then in that journey, I had hypnotherapy. Actually, I experienced hypnotherapy on a detox retreat of all places in India. And I was like, wow, this is cool. And the two just kind of clicked for me. The two just kind of made sense around if I'm working with people with mental health, and that is such a broad spectrum nowadays, but from stress to anxiety to depression to eating disorders, etc. What I was doing was referring people off, doing the nutrition bit and then referring them on. But actually you spend so much time building trust with these clients that I wanted to be able to do, not necessarily do it all, but be able to offer more of a full approach. So looking after them mentally as well as physically and emotionally. So bringing together nutrition and hypnotherapy within my practice. And that's just actually expanded into things like IBS, for example, which we know that stress is such a huge thing for people with IBS. But what's going on with their microbiome? You know, what foods are aggravating their IBS, as well as how do we deal with the stress of things. And so now I love being able to bring the two together in practice. Whatever my client brings in, I'm always looking at the emotional, mental component, as well as what they're eating, how they're sleeping, how they're moving, etc. So it's kind of what I do now.
Interesting, isn't it? So, I mean, I think we understand so much more, don't we, about nutrition, but also there's so much more to learn, isn't there?
Oh, do you know what? The world, if I think back to when I qualified 10, 11 years ago, you know, words like, I remember buying my company name, Urban Wellness, in 2007, and everyone went to me, what is wellness? It was just like one of those words nobody used. Microbiome.
Yes.
You know, kefir wasn't even on the landscape for those of us who are based in the UK. You know, or nutrition psychiatry, which I just love as a word. I mean, these are just phrases that just didn't exist in our vocabulary. And so even in the time that I've been working, the scope's moved on so much, and it's picking up speed now. You know, I think there's something like already, I was at a conference on nutrition psychiatry a couple of weeks ago, and the number of research papers done on the gut microbiome in this year alone, and we're only in October, was something like nearly 3,000 in just this year. So it's amazing. Yeah, it's you got to keep up. It's kind of like trying to. Really I don't read that many research papers, but it's moving at a pace, and it's brilliant that we're moving more towards a more natural, holistic approach to health, rather than just going, I'm ill, I'll go to the doctor and I'll get a pill for that, because often we find it's not working, and I think we all know that as therapists.
There's no one size fits all for everyone. No, that it's just different.
Yeah, completely. And I think that's the challenge as well. And that's very much why in my approach to my clients, but also when I talk to other therapists about the role nutrition plays, there isn't you can't just give the same client the same diet plan, for example, if you work in weight loss, or somebody who's got anxiety. We know that one thing might work for them, but something else might not. So it's about trying to get the basics right, and then you kind of build on that and the fundamentals that go with that for someone's health.
So at the convention, majority, I am assuming, the majority of people will be hypnosis So how is your presentation going to be helping those if they don't have your specific nutritional knowledge?
Yeah, sure. So obviously I'm not training people to be a hypnotherapist, a nutritionist rather, because obviously there's rules and regulations around that. But for me, it's about, helping hypnotherapists understand the importance that food plays in our health, the role that the microbiome plays both physically and physiologically, which I think a lot of us understand, but I'm going to really bring to the forefront a lot of the latest research on that. For example, we're starting to understand now that actually our bones are involved in the fight and flight response. And I'm not going to say anything more than that because I'm I want people to come and talk to me about it. But there's new research coming through all the time. But also I think we're all aware of what's on the internet, the latest news headline about, is something good for you? Is it now not good for you? All the I've always said I'm about really basic broccoli and blueberries kind of information. Not these you can go off and buy all the fancy charcoal powders and things if you want to, but I think there's so much that we can be looking at as hypnotherapists. You don't have to be a trained nutritionist, but to understand maybe some key questions that you can be asking your clients, like, do they drink enough water? Sounds basic. If you're working with people with weight loss or people with IBS and things like that, what are they eating generally?
Yes. Yeah.
I think we can all look at a diet and go, oh, hang on, I live on McDonald's and Nando's, but they're coming to you with depression. And you think, well, hang on.
Is there a connection? Yeah.
Is there a connection? And actually, I'm working on the depression with hypnotherapy, but if they're going to go off and still eat McDonald's and Nando's, how long before that depression comes back? Because there is the physiological reaction that goes on. So for me, it's about debunking some of the myths. My presentations are always really interactive. I'm like, just fire questions at me. Tell me something you've read or understood, or if you don't agree with me, challenge me. I'm always up for having a debate about something. Understanding more around, some of the vegan diets and things that are coming through, what nutrients can be lacking from someone's diet. Just checking in that your clients are doing the best that they can within the scope of your practice as a hypnotherapist. But as I said to you earlier when we were chatting before, for me, the two complement each other so well. And if everyone left the room and went, I need to go and find a nutritionist to work with, that would be amazing.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so nice when we work with a whole team of, I do a lot of work with super morbid obese people. So we have, people to help them with their movement and exercise, and nutritionalists and people to help their mental health. It's a really nice thing to do as well.
Yeah.
So nice professionals.
Absolutely. And I do that all in my practice as well. I've got an army of osteopaths, acupuncturists, psychotherapists, DBT therapists, etc., other hypnotherapists that I work with or will refer clients on to, because as much as we all come into this wanting to help other people, but I think it's also understanding we can't do it all. But actually, what does that client need? And so that's very much what this Feed the Mind and the Body is about. It's like, I know from my own experiences, I'm sure we all do, hypnotherapy is amazing. It was a game changer for me. But when you're dealing with people, particularly with health, like specific physical health problems, autoimmune conditions, depression, etc., IBS, things like that, rather than trauma and things, although the fight and flight response does play a huge role in that, there's just some really basic sort of top line things that could be really useful as a hypnotherapist to know, and you'll have it always in the back of your mind, or you might just ask a few more questions when you're in the session, or it sort of enhances your practice with your clients.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah.
So let me just put the specs on. So your presentation, I'll remind everybody, it's on the Saturday at 8:30 till 10:30, 2-hour presentation, and you will be in the Windsor room.
Oh, will I? Is that the posh one?
It does sound
good.
Very nice.
All right, that's all right then.
Nicola, thank you so much.
No, thank you. I look forward to seeing you all there.
Look forward to seeing you there. And, I'm really looking forward to talking to you when we get to in November.
Brilliant. Lovely. I'll see you then.
Thank you.
Thank you.